Hi, I'm Dirk Martens from Chapman Bright, and recently we did a webinar on how to do a great webinar in 2020 and why you should integrate with your marketing automation platform and how to do that. And during that session we announced that we were recording a behind the scenes. Of course, the entire webinar is available on demand, and we mixed that feed up together with a camera that was placed behind Jacques, who produced the webinar, and we also recorded his screen whilst producing. Now I'm recording this video, and all those four streams will be blended together in a split screen, so you can actually see what is happening and what it takes to produce such a webinar. So let's get started.
Dat kan ook. De camera loopt. Jij ook? Ja, doe mij.
Currently, Jacques is logging in to his 23 platform, which is completely web-based, browser-based, without any plugins or apps to be installed. He already launched the webinar. We're not live yet, but speakers can chat with each other, as well as the producer.
Yes, I can. I will switch off my audio. How are you?
I am very good.
Yeah. Good luck, man.
Oh, that's me.
Make a great show together with Diederik. Hey! Okay, I'll switch off everything, yeah?
It's hard to see, but
Okay.
Christopher Larson has a little video feed in the bottom. As you can see, Jacques is able to switch between the different slides and video feeds from the speakers. And none of them have to install anything. Just click a link in the email that was provided, and that's it.
Okay. Hi guys, let's get started, and I'd like to welcome you all to this webinar. We're getting great webinars that work in 2020, and very excited to have you all here. And I'm not going to do it alone. We're going to split up the webinar in two parts.
At this point, I don't notice that my headset wasn't turned on.
President of Marketing at 23. He's going to talk about how to deliver an engaging webinar that works in 2020. And
So Christopher and Jacques are getting nervous.
Started and why do them at all? And afterwards, I will take over and look at the benefits of integrating your webinar with a marketing automation platform. For those of you that are on Marketo, I can also give you some pointers on how to do that well with Marketo. So first of all, let's give the floor to Christopher Larson.
Hello everyone, can you hear me okay? Diederik, I was not able to hear you just before, so I didn't hear your intro.
Oh. Hi Chris, I think should be on.
Just to the audience out there, maybe you could give me a little bit of pointer here if you can hear me, or how is that? Okay, that's great. So a little bit without further ado, I'm just gonna jump into it. I hope. I am going to talk about engaging webinars today that works in 2020. And just to give you a little bit of a...
Well, let's skip the rest of the webinar. But what happened is that my headset was not turned on, and Jacques could hear me because he was in the room, but he didn't hear me in the audio feed. So at this point I'm turning on my headset, so when I have to come back, I'm still able to speak.
seeing today.
So let's switch to when Jacques switches between me and Christopher.
Good creative ideas and a lot of other things. Finally, it's a different kind of way to look at it. It's also taking the kind of the expert route and thinking about how to create an expert debate, not just having an interview with one expert, but bringing a lot of different aspects.
Jacques is already hovering over my image
and opinions in the room and
feed.
creating fire in that way. Yes, that's basically it for my show. Yes.
Thank you, Christopher.
I went a little bit fast in the end, but I hope it was okay. I needed to get through all the aspects here.
Yeah, no, of course. And I saw already a question for someone asking, will we get the slide afterwards? Yes, of course, because it was a waterfall of tips and best practices. And of course, you'll stay around for our Q&A after my part of the webinar. So what I'll now dive into is what are the benefits of integrating with marketing automation.
Well, this is where it's important to have a proper microphone, because you can see and hear that my voice is a little bit less clear than Christopher's sound.
Also touch a base upon a few best practices that you can do within Marketo and Engage. Already noticed quite a few customers.
So now Jacques switched to my slides again.
That focuses mostly around marketing automation with Marketo Engage and all the technologies that complement it. And if you want to know more about that, just hit our website. Let's dive into the first topic, and that's obviously why would you then integrate with marketing automation? That brings us to our Q&A session. What you can do is you can use the top right functionality on the screen to send in a question for the speaker. And in this case, Jacques, he's producing the webinar. He will be receiving those questions and putting them up on the screen for me or Christopher to answer. And so, yeah, I already see one from Paul. Well, that's maybe for you to pick up, Christopher.
We don't have numbers on this. I think I want to answer it a little bit differently. A series should only be as long as you have, great content, right? So
So as a producer, Jacques can easily click one of the questions that automatically displays it on the screen and then selects the speaker to answer the question.
Delivering high value, because it is, and it always comes back to education.
We also
right?
recorded a behind the scenes today. So there's Jacques is actually sitting right there. There's a camera behind Jacques. Jacques was recording his screen on how we actually set up the webinar, how we went live, and we recorded how I forgot to switch on my headset, for example. And we also record, obviously it's also recorded on demand. We're gonna stitch that all together and give you the option to look at it from every angle, so you can actually see behind the scenes what it takes to produce this webinar. So that will be coming your way as well very soon. So if there are no more questions, I want to thank you for joining today, and I want to wish you a well weekend in a few hours, and thank you, Christopher, and we'll see you at the next webinar.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on the show today. It was a pleasure, Didrik, and to the audience, I hope that you enjoyed the slides and the insights. Let me know, and we'll be sharing them after, obviously.
Well, and that's how we produced it. Hope that helped. And now Jacques stopped the live broadcast. Bye.